Biodiversity forms the basis for human existence in the following ways. So basically this question is about biodiversity or ecosystem services. So what kind of goods and services or what kind of benefits do we receive from these forms of or these different forms of biodiversity? That is the question, right? So options or statements are: first, soil formation; second, prevention of soil erosion; third, recycling of waste material; fourth, pollination of crops. Select the correct answer using the codes given below. So the question is about the services that we receive from biodiversity. And as we have already discussed, there are 4 different types of services received by human beings from biodiversity or ecosystem. And those services are: first is provisioning service. That means those services which can be assigned some monetary value. That means food, timber, fiber, medicinal plants, etc. are the provisioning services that human beings receive from biodiversity. Second is regulating services. So as name suggests, these are the services that are received by human beings which regulate different components of environment and makes them favorable or keeps them favorable for the use of human beings. For example, soil formation, water recycling, water purification, etc. are the services which can be categorized as regulating services. The third type of service that we receive from ecosystem or biodiversity is known as cultural service. Cultural services are the intangible benefits that we receive from the biodiversity. And what are those benefits? For example, the use of nature for tourism purposes, detoxification of human beings as they go in the lap of nature, or any other inspiration that we get from nature for various artistic purposes, be it painting, music, etc. Right? So those are cultural services. And lastly, one more service is there, and that is supporting service. Supporting services are the most fundamental services because without supporting services, we won't be able to enjoy other 3 services that we have discussed. And that's why the supporting services are like soil formation, nutrient recycling, etc. Right? So this question is about those services. So let us discuss this question. So first statement is about the formation of soil. In the formation of the soil, microorganisms play an important role. Therefore, this is one of the benefits that we are receiving from biodiversity, and hence first statement is correct statement. Second statement is about the soil erosion. Biodiversity helps us to prevent soil erosion, where the role of forest or different type of vegetation that is present on soil is important, and hence even second statement is correct statement. Next, third is decomposition or management of waste material. So dead organic matter is recycled by microorganisms, and hence it is also a service that we are receiving from biodiversity. And that's why third statement is also correct. And lastly, it is pollination of crops. And pollination of crops is carried out by various insects, bees, flies, birds, etc. And hence even fourth statement is a correct statement, and that's why all these statements are correct, and hence answer is D. Right? So this question was about the services that we receive from biodiversity or ecosystem. In the context of ecosystem productivity, marine upwelling zones are important as they increase the marine productivity by bringing the statements are first, decomposer microorganisms to the surface by bringing decomposer microorganisms to surface. Second, by bringing nutrients to the surface. And third statement, by bringing bottom dwelling organisms to the surface. You have to select correct statements from the above mentioned three statements, and these are the different options. First of all, let us define what is ecosystem productivity. So, ecosystem productivity is the rate at which biomass is getting produced or getting accumulated at different trophic levels. And there are two prime types of productivity of ecosystem. They are primary productivity, which is associated with producers, and second is secondary productivity, which is associated with the consumers, right? So this question is about increase in marine productivity as a result of upwelling seen in the marine ecosystem. And the reason is being asked to you why upwelling leads to increase in marine productivity. First of all, what is upwelling? Upwelling is the movement of bottom water towards the top or surface water because surface water is being driven away by wind. And as that surface water is driven away by wind, it is important, or it is the natural process based upon which the bottom water will take place of that replaced surface water. And as this bottom water is going to the top, it is known as, this phenomenon is known as upwelling. And with upwelling, it is nutrients that are brought to the top surface. And these nutrients are then used up by phytoplanktons and other producers in marine ecosystem. And that's why there will be more production of food, which will attract more fishes to that area, and those fishes will in turn attract larger fishes, and that will lead to increase in the productivity of that marine ecosystem, right? So that is the basic reason behind increase in marine productivity as a result of upwelling, because it is nutrients that are being brought up at the surface through upwelling. So let us discuss this question. So ecosystem productivity, we have already discussed. Ecosystem productivity is the rate at which energy is added to the bodies of organisms in the form of biomass. That means rate of accumulation of energy in the form of biomass. Marine upwelling zones, we have already discussed. Winds blowing across the ocean surface push water away. Water then rises up from beneath the surface to replace the water that was pushed away, and this process is known as upwelling. Next, upwelling occurs in open ocean and along coastline. So primarily, where we'll be able to witness upwelling at open ocean and along the coastlines as well. Next, water that rises to the surface is rich in nutrients. It is rich in nutrients, and that's why the water is, or the surface water is getting more nutrients, which are used up by the producers in the upper layer of the water, and that is nothing but, or that is similar to the fertilization of that surface water, which will lead to high biological productivity. And hence it is option B, which is correct with respect to this question. Fine. So let me take you back to the options, and option is 2 only, right? Because it is nutrients that are being brought up by the upwelling. If a tropical rainforest is removed, the tropical rainforest is removed, it does not regenerate quickly as compared to a tropical deciduous forest. This is because of which reason? Options are A, the soil of rainforest is deficient in nutrients. B, propagules of trees in a rainforest have poor viability. C, the rainforest species are slow growing species. And D, exotic species invade the fertile soil of rainforest. So, what is the reason if by any chance tropical rainforest is removed? It will take longer duration than the tropical moist deciduous or tropical deciduous forest. Fine. So let us discuss this question. First of all, let us understand where exactly these forests are located. So suppose this is the equator. Suppose this is the equator, that means 0 degree. Then 10 degrees north and 10 degrees south. This location, this is the location of tropical rainforest. This is the location of tropical rainforest. And at this particular location, we know that the trade winds converge. Trade winds converge in this particular location. And as a result of convergence of these trade winds in this location, we have very high amount of rainfall in this location, which is more than 300 centimeters. Which is more than 300 centimeters rain. And it rains almost daily in this particular region. And that is the reason because of which the soil is deprived of nutrients. As a result of leaching and lateralization of soil, the nutrients are removed from the soil, and hence soil becomes nutrient deficit soil. And that's why this particular soil is known as laterite soil. It is laterite soil that is present in this location because it is leaching and lateralization of nutrients that is being witnessed by this soil. And hence, if we clear a forest, or by any reason if forest in the tropical rainforest location is cleared, then it will take longer amount of time for that forest to regenerate because the nutrients are not present in that soil. And they are removed as a result of heavy rainfall witnessed by this region as a convergence of trade winds. And that's why answer to this question is A. The soil of rainforest is deficient in nutrients. Fine. So you can go through this. The tropical rainforest biome, it has poor or nutrient poor soil because of high annual rainfall and high average temperatures. Next, so these statements are being considered here. You can go through these statements.